I think it's by being honest about it. I think when you are looking at a deal and evaluating with somebody, I think it's very easy because you want the business to maybe try and frame it in a way that people want to hear it. And I think that at the end of the day, especially for these apartment portfolios we've taken on, I think they've valued honest opinion. And I feel like that's, one reason we got the business.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Erika, and today I'm excited to have Nick Virovec here with me. He's the president of RentFam. Nick, it's awesome to have you here.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me, Erica.
I think our listeners are really going to take something away with how you're making things work in the property management space. So let's dive on in. First off, for people who may not be familiar with your world, Nick, can you tell us more how you found yourself in real estate and property management?
Yeah, on property management's been my entire career. Again, I was telling you about 20 years now I've been doing it. Found my way into it by chance. Got a job as a leasing consultant in Parma, Ohio, at a local community, and tried it out. Really found a liking to it. There's so many facets to the business that are fascinating. So after a few years of doing just the leasing sales aspect of it, really tried to immerse myself into it and better understand it. And it brought me to wanting to possibly manage communities and take on larger roles. And, through the years, just taking on more responsibility as a property manager, portfolio manager, and now with RentFam now as president running the company and trying to grow it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, tell us more about RentFam and what you guys do in property management that sets you apart from the rest.
Yeah, so we do true third party management. I think our original model was for the owner of the company to manage his rentals solely. And we, throughout the process of doing that, came to understand that there was huge opportunity in the marketplace for people looking for credible management, viable management, people that I felt they could trust. So we really started to market those services. And we've been heavily doing that for the past 18 months now, and we've been able to grow we more than doubled our portfolio already in 2025. So, yeah, feel really good about that. I think what we do is we take a very hands-on personal approach. Um, we're checking with clients often, being responsive. I think that's half the battle in property management is you've got vendors, you have tenants, and you have owners, and your job is to kind of put all of those things together and make sure that everybody is on the same page or trying to be on the same page with what's going on at the properties, um, for tenant satisfaction and ultimately owner satisfaction.
Yeah, have there been any systems or things that you've changed with your process over the years that you've learned that have made things smoother or win-win for everybody?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, I think, the larger the company, and I've worked for larger companies, I think sometimes information slows down or dies at certain levels of hierarchy. So we've tried to value um, empowering our employees to be decision makers. And I think doing that has sped up information. Again, you have tenants, you have owners, as I was just saying, that are looking for information from us, good or bad. They want the answer. So I think us empowering the people that we have working with us to do that, it gives us an advantage, I feel, and that's something that I've watched at each stop that I've worked at, um, be a an improvement point or something that needed to be done, and so we've really valued that part here. Again, speed I think is a lot of um, what helps people, try to understand, like, do I like who I'm working with? Do I not? We've gotten contracts from people where they've felt that the current management doesn't get back to them fast enough, or tenants that say nobody ever gets back to me. So we try to value those things because again, tenants pay the rent, owners buy the property. That is as a service provider. Again, we're gainfully employed when those two people are happy.
Yes. Yes. Do you have any success stories or testimonials from, clients who came from a more difficult situation that they weren't happy with what was going on, whether it was a previous company or maybe they were trying to manage it themselves?
Yeah, yeah, and I think there's probably, I guess, a few types of examples. So, we manage for anybody from one single family home up to apartment portfolios. And so, on the smaller side, for a single family or a duplex operator, we've had, multiple people in the past year that have given us the chance. And I think the theme has been similar. Again, it's communication or lack thereof. We've had people that have come with us that have recommended us uh, to their investor network or whoever they're talking to about their investments. And so we find that referral as being like, the biggest compliment, if you will. And so, we've been fortunate enough to have that. On the apartment portfolio side, we've had a few apartment portfolios come our way from previous management companies. Um, and the second, I guess, portfolio that we've taken on in the past year was again a word of mouth referral from somebody that was with the first group that we take care of. And again, biggest compliment is word of mouth referrals. And, so we take that, we value that. It makes me feel like we're doing the right things. But yeah, those would be, I guess, the success stories.
Yeah, that's great for our listeners here who are investors and they've never worked with a property manager, a property management company, and they're thinking about it. What do you want them to know?
I think the biggest thing is if you're evaluating investment, I think the diligence part of it is huge. Making sure that that you're maybe enlisting the opinion of somebody like a manager that's done it. I don't know that everybody has that chance, but if you do, I think that's important. 'Cause I feel like the buying part of the process is this, and um, the life cycle of it or how long you have it is everything else, and that's where the manager takes a large role in that, right? Where they're executing the plan, so to speak. And, so checking with those people about, and it could be something like a duplex, like who pays what utilities, how is that set up? Like things like that that you might overlook because you're so focused on the income part of it or what the taxes and insurance are, that, that margin, if you have to pay the utilities and you didn't factor that in, something like that could swing the deal. It could literally make it or kill it. And so, making sure that in the diligence process that you are looking at everything, and in our opinion, enlisting our help. That's what we're here to do. We love to be able to provide that feedback.
Yeah. Earlier, Nick, when you had given us some information before, you were, talking about owners who were getting crushed by their margins and starting to question their property managers. How do you come in and help with that situation?
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
I think it's by being honest about it. I think when you are looking at a deal and evaluating with somebody, I think it's very easy because you want the business to maybe try and frame it in a way that people want to hear it. And I think that at the end of the day, especially for these apartment portfolios that we've taken on, I think they've valued honest opinion. And I feel like that's, one reason we got the business most recently with this apartment portfolio was because we leveled with them and said, these costs are going up. These are not things we as the manager can control. The types of things that we can control and that we would love to, work with you on it. It's vacancy. It's, concessions, it's the delinquency. Those are things where management make a big difference. So controlling what we can control and focusing on how we can help that, but also just, being a fair evaluator and saying, look, your debt service on this, and again, taxes and insurance, that's not something we can control. If, do you still think that it's a viable investment, taking those things into account? And if so, here's the variable costs that we can help with, and here's how we would do it. And then, we hop into those things, and we're looking at contract services for the buildings. We're looking at, utility providers, all of those things we're looking at with them. But I think that the biggest thing is, being honest with the investors about that, for better or worse.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense how important that is. And it's really fascinating to me that you work with, all different types of investors when it comes to what they have, whether it's a single family home or a big multi-unit. And I'm sure as you're analyzing those situations, they're very different from each other. How does that change with your own management strategy?
Yeah, I think you have to know who you're talking to. That's a large part of it. So when you are talking to maybe somebody that is self-proclaimed a newer investor, they come in and they're leaning on you for information. They have a single family or they have a duplex, something like that that they're looking to. They want to get into passive income. We find a lot of out-of-state investors into the Cleveland market because it's a low cost of entry. Cost of living here is relatively lower than in other parts of the country. So we have people that go, "Hey, I'm thinking about Cleveland," and the way that they're looking at their first deal versus, somebody on the savvier end that's done it before, the way that they look at investments, it's fascinating. I think uh, as you get it more into it, they know what metrics they're looking for, and they will. Some people will flat out pose you, "Do you think you can meet this, rate of return or this criteria, or meet this metric?" And that's on the savvier side. On the newer side, I think that they deal. It's more the ideology, and sometimes it's tougher, right? think they have underwrote the deal well, and you are viewed as the person that's supposed to execute that.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
And you get in there and you realize that maybe the strategy that they have is going to be harder to follow through on. And being able to talk to you about that, I think the newer investor, I think sometimes it's easy for us to be the scapegoat sometimes, I guess is what it is when it doesn't go that way. I think that the savvier investors and the people with the portfolios, they almost look at us more like partners, which I tend to love that, and um, they look to you for advice. They lean on the advice. For me, that's where I find a ton of satisfaction in what we do. Is you give a line of logic for something, it makes sense, everybody agrees with it, and then we execute the strategy. But I feel like the investors on the larger stuff, they view you as more as partners, where maybe sometimes on the smaller side, they view you as a means to an end, for lack of a better way of saying it.
Yeah, not playing the long game so much there.
Yeah, be honest about it. And not all of them, but
Yeah.
that's what I think so fascinating is that, um, so like on a single family home, and they can be within 2 streets of each other. The strategy for this investor versus, the guy 2 streets over, they're in the same neighborhood, how they view the investment could be completely different. And part of our job is to be adaptable, right? It's to, um, try to give the investor what they want in the way that they want it, but
Mhm.
not, and also do that while not compromising, maybe your value system or, what you think is going to make that, particular investment successful.
Right, yeah, walking that tightrope there. On a similar note, I'm sure as you know, everyone loves when they can find value add with their multifamily, and maybe that's part of the collaboration there. For you, what would you say that there's one under the radar tweak that you've implemented that has helped your clients?
And like maybe be more specific in what terms.
Well, I guess it depends on what you're able to do in that situation. Now, you said you were third, that you're operating as a third party,
Mhm,
so that
mhm.
you're able to do a lot more. Was my
Yeah,
understanding.
yeah. Yeah, so, the term value add investment is kind of like a loaded, it's a loaded term, if you will. I feel like, in a few years past that the market was full of inventory, at least where we're at, and, there were a lot of value add deals. Almost, I feel like any listing that you see nowadays, it almost has that word in front of it, because it's almost like it's not worth looking at unless it has that, ideology
Mm.
behind it. Um, I think for us, when we have people come to us and ask us to evaluate something, I think I try to focus more, maybe not so much on the value add part, but like we talk about fundamentals of the area. Um, like, so Northeast Ohio is, uh, its big driver economically is the healthcare industry. Cleveland Clinic and University Hospitals are the two largest employers in Northeast Ohio. And so, it's a great base. That said, you know, uh, in like 2018, when you had other markets that were they're appreciating at crazy levels, um, you look at Cleveland and it might not be as attractive when there's a correction happening, which you could argue is happening right now. Cleveland's more attractive. I've always kind of called us like the slow and steady. We're always gonna, like, we're a cash flow market. We're gonna get, um, we're gonna get appreciation, but not at the level some of those other ones that are maybe more volatile happen. So I've always liked to call us like a market that's good at, we're predictable. So like when you look at the risk reward pendulum, we kind of are like the sweet spot. I think people like predictability in investments. So I like to think of us as that. But our huge thing whenever we talk to anybody is try to be as honest about it as possible. I keep coming back to that theme, but I think that that's hugely important when you're if you're somebody that's an investor from California and we're in Cleveland, trust is everything. So uh, the investor believing that we're telling them the truth, I think, is paramount. That's what it's all about. And if all you're telling them is good news all the time, I would think that you would probably take caution or pause to that.
Right, right. That yeah, being honesty in a deal is so important. Well, Nick, I know that you have great plans for the future. So, can you say what's next on the horizons?
Yeah, so I mean, we talk about goals a lot with our team, and we've always felt that in Cleveland, Ohio, or Northeast Ohio, that there is a huge opportunity in the marketplace for really good, viable, trustworthy third party management. I think I was telling you prior that a lot of owner operators in the area do it for themselves and scale, but they do it for themselves. They don't do it for other people. And I think that we can grow our business, and our goal is to get to about 5,000 units, or not stop or evaluate until we get to that point. So, how are we going to do that? It's going to be continuing to what we do now, be honest, be transparent, market our services, continue to do that, get our name out there. Again, being on a podcast like this hopefully is something that, helps us as we continue to go. And we are very thankful for the opportunity to do that. Um, but yeah, that's our ambition, and then scale the operations in a way where there's I was telling you prior, a balance of people and technology. We talked a little bit about that prior too. I think there's a huge push happening now to leverage more technology in property management, which I agree with. But I also feel like we're one of the industries where it very much needs the human touch. And so I think for us, one of our initiatives is going to be balancing that, making sure we do that appropriately. There's going to be some times where you need the person and you need the people because you're dealing with tenants and owners. They want to talk to somebody sometimes. It can't always be an AI bot or the response that was pre-generated. People want that individual human touch, and so we feel we'll be able to grow our business if we scale using that as a main focus point.
Yeah, that's really exciting, and there's so much opportunity with that technology that is already here, but it's essential to keep that personal touch because people do need it.
Yeah, you see it in not only in property management, other industries as well, right? There's such a push to it because obviously it can help from a cost perspective, right?
Mhm.
And so I try to look at that as well. I think that the types of processes that can leverage AI and technology are, data driven, data preparation type of things. But again, anything where you're dealing with the customer and it needs the human touch, I think we would probably prefer to have a person deal with that because I think the impact on whether it be an owner or a tenant is, hopefully a sustainable one where they want to stick with us because they like the service that they received.
Yeah. Yeah, and going back to that honesty there, which is so so
It's a big
important.
thing.
Well, yep. Well, Nick, this has been great. If someone listening today wants to reach out, connect, maybe they need help with property management in Ohio, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Yeah, so I mean, rentfam.com is our website. That's probably the best way to do it. I believe I've provided email and phone number as well if anybody would ever like to talk about that. But yeah, that'd be the best way to do it. And again, we're passionate about what we do, and Cleveland's a good market. We're very similar, I would say, to other Midwest markets. So we've said, hey, if the rate of return in another city is close to Cleveland's, the thing that may swing somebody to choose us over Another market could be your property manager, your operator, somebody that you are hoping to build a relationship and level of trust with. So that's our goal. If we're anywhere in the neighborhood of a decision, we hopefully can help swing it to our way.
Yeah, that's great. Well, again, Nick, I appreciate you being here, sharing your story, your passion. We need more people in this space who get how to adapt depending on the situation and just do their business with integrity.
Yeah, and and we talk about that as being one of our, core values. That you have to do the right thing when people are looking, and the honesty, the integrity. It's everything. It's huge when you're delivering a service, right? People have to trust you. So, I like that you focus on that too.
Yeah. Awesome. For our listeners today, if you got value from this episode, make sure that you're subscribed to the Real Estate Pros podcast. We've got more conversations lined up with pros like Nick, who are out there building fantastic real estate businesses. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.